All right. Hello and welcome. This is Shock Monkey Radio. I'm your friendly neighborhood madman, and today we got Dizzy Thoughts in the building,
Well, how you doing?
or Ace Bully, as you may know him. Hill Hippie. Well, since he's the number one show and so forth, he like called me up and he's like, I'm way too big to be on your show anymore, and he's pulling a real prima donna act, and I'm kidding. Real life intercedes sometimes. Hill Hippie couldn't make it tonight, so he might come in the middle of the show. I don't know, but I'm not moving any cameras, turning on any extra mics.
Hey, let's hope so. The more the better.
No, I'm just playing. Okay, hello and welcome to Shock Monkeys. We usually start with our weekends. How was your weekend, man?
Mine was pretty decent. Took the kids out, that type of thing.
It was nice this weekend, right?
It was pretty nice. Besides the allergies.
Yeah, the allergies are rearing their head now.
Oh man, I was punished for a little bit, man. But
everybody's getting punished right now.
What about you, man? How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. It's pretty good. I didn't really do much. I worked and edited some videos because I was on your show.
Yes.
On Friday night, and I thought that was a really interesting conversation we had about Aquaman. And so I said, I really want to do a clip of video of that. You and me talk about Aquaman and how he poops, so I could put it up on YouTube. So if you want to go see that video after the show, go over to youtube.com, search for The Madman lowercase. And that's 3 different words, The Madman in lowercase.
You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ace Bully, search for Ace Bully on YouTube, and you can find him and his videos and our collaborations and so forth. Yeah, so that was my weekend, messing with video and working, slinging pizzas.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Pay the bills, man. So I do want to say one thing about the University of Virginia, and congratulations to them and their victory in the NCAA tournament. I know they had a rough year last year, but now they turned it around. So I see that you kids out there are tearing up Charlottesville, and I hope that's worth it. I just don't understand why anybody destroys things in their town when they win something. I don't really get that. We're so happy, let's destroy everything. It's like, well, I'm not cleaning that up.
It's just like when you, like, you're a rock star and you just killed the whole fucking song. You start beating up your fucking guitar.
Trash your hotel room or trash the stage.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, I guess.
They get a little excited.
But I don't even like basketball. Much less college basketball. But I live in Virginia, and every time I've been to Charlottesville, I've had a hell of a time. Great time. And so it's usually with UVA people. And so, yeah, congratulations. It's something close to home. It's a national tournament. So,
you ever play?
What, basketball?
Yeah.
Not like on a team or nothing, but pickup games and so forth.
I played on a team before. I was the smallest one, man.
I believe it, because you're still the smallest one now.
Oh, damn! That's how we got to do it right now.
No, look, we're not going into that.
I'm just saying. Like, I look tall on here,
camera.
So.
Yeah, you look real big.
I look real tall.
People don't know I'm zoomed in way more on you than I am on me.
Well, it's okay. Look, for everyone out there, if you think I'm taller than them, keep thinking it. Make me feel better.
What else did I do this weekend? I saw Shazam.
Oh man,
Thursday.
Tell me about it. I've been wanting to see that.
I asked you if you'd seen it, and you said no. So I'm going to do this no spoilers thing on Shazam, and I used that post on Instagram, the picture of the old school '70s Shazam, because I found that picture and I took one look at that costume. It's like, holy cow, we've come a long way. For so many years, it's like that's all any Shazam fan had was this old '70s TV show, and
yeah.
And then, in those 70s TV shows and early 80s TV shows, they were so bad that the comic books were better. And so, people would go, if you want a really good story about Shazam, you go to the comic books. You don't watch TV. And so, but, I went and saw that movie, and without spoiling anything, wow, I really, really enjoyed it. And I give it 10 out of 13 stars. And but you have to enjoy it for what it is, which is DC-flavored bubblegum.
Okay.
All right? Don't get read too much into anything. Just enjoy the shallow nature of it. Be the kid again. Be that kid who gets summoned to some wizard, and he's like, "Touch my staff, yo."
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, I do have to ask though, man. Did they change the storyline? I don't want to know the storyline, but I want to know if they changed it from the original.
We're actually probably going to go way more in depth on this on Lost in the Long Box tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. I know these guys would know way more about Cap
Okay.
Marvel family than I do, but yeah, they kind of changed things. There was like a series of different incarnations of Shazam, and I believe these guys over at Lost in the Long Box, they'll probably correct me, but I believe this is a new 52 version of Shazam in the Marvel family, and it's great. And even though like New 52, a lot of people look down on it and so forth, but I mean, I think it works in the context of this movie,
Okay.
and there's a lot of great, just fun moments in the movie, and I think it's kind of designed to veer away from all this real dark stuff that DC has been doing. It's like, well, Dark Knight, Batman, and
Yeah,
the Batman movies were dark, and
hella dark.
that worked for us. So let's take Superman and make that a little dark. It's like, oh, the fans are pissed. We can't do that. Okay, let's Shazam. Let's do a fun Shazam. It's a kid who's a superhero. You get some goofy looking guy to play him. We put him in a bodysuit or whatever. Absolutely. It's like, here's the problem though. Marvel's doing Captain Marvel, and we can't call it Captain Marvel. Well, we probably can't even call him Captain Marvel in the movie, which they don't.
Damn.
They don't.
This is what I noticed too, man. Like, it's like they're bringing out a lot of superheroes that, okay, you know how like most of the time when you think of superheroes, it's always Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. You got X-Men, you got Wolverine. That's the first one you think of. They're targeting superheroes that really wasn't getting much clout during the past years.
Absolutely.
And I noticed that they're starting to make movies. Like when I first seen Shazam in one of the Justice League, like I was just like, okay, let me see how they made him in this, cause I haven't seen him in an actual new cartoon until like, maybe a year and a half ago. So it's like when I seen him, I'm like, okay, they got him nice. They got him nice. So I kind of assumed that soon they're gonna come out with a movie about him. I knew Ant-Man was coming in. I felt like Ant-Man was coming in regardless.
Yeah.
And the Flash, I feel like he's just by them even coming out with their own show of him. I knew that was gonna be a hit regardless.
Well, here's what I love about like this new, I guess I want to call this the Silver Age
Yeah.
of the modern comic book era. Basically the visual medium, and that is like all these, like, for example, DC has a private service. I forget what it's called. DC on Demand. I forget because and I keep seeing ads for it because they know I'm the target demographic. They want to buy their shit,
Hell yeah.
and they're doing like a Doom Patrol thing
Okay.
show. And you probably never heard of the Doom Patrol, but
I don't know.
I love the Doom Patrol.
When you said Doom Patrol, I just thought of Doomsday.
No, yeah,
I did. I did.
and they're doing a Teen Titans show on there, and I'm just like, shit, that's what I want to subscribe for. And so, I think that a lot of these like minor characters, I think even Marvel's doing Cloak and Dagger, and a lot of these minor characters are getting like screen time. And there was a time like in the 70s where they're like, if we're doing a superhero movie, the only one that's successful is Superman, and you gotta cast
Exactly.
Christopher Reeves. You got to have a big production budget that's sponsored by Coca-Cola and Marlboro and Kentucky Fried Chicken. You remember Superman 2?
Man, bro.
Did you see all those ads in Times Square?
I was just like, man, look, let me. It's just like all the superheroes that won't shit for real. Like they portrayed as won't shit back in the day. Now all of a sudden, they're the biggest superheroes.
Well, I think that's what's interesting is like Venom.
Oh man,
That was a pretty good movie by all accounts, and so
I think it was funny.
I didn't see that one,
I thought it was.
but everyone
Funny.
that I respect has said it was pretty good. So
It was good, but it was funny though.
well, I mean, I think there needs to be a little bit of humor in any kind of movie these days. I mean,
Yeah.
even in those dark DC movies, I mean, there's a little bit of an element of humor.
I think they should have made the Venom like when they made Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
They should have made a Venom like that versus how they had him. I didn't.
There's a myriad of issues about like Spider-Man fans and like Spider-Man 3. That reasons why we dislike it. So
It pissed me off a little bit. I'm like,
yeah.
this is Venom. And then when he meets Sandman, he gets knocked the fuck out and picked up. What? Venom was one of his worst adversaries. Him and Carnage. And you got Sandman was good. He was one of the big ones, but him,
Yeah.
he smacked the shit out of him with some sand. And he falls and you pick him up like he's a roach. Like, come on, man, no. That upset me because Venom is one of my favorite villains.
So Shazam, I highly recommend you go see it.
Oh, damn right.
It is you can't read too deep into it. I would say that I would take my niece to see that movie, except for a couple of scenes that I would say is like she is too young. You know,
Was it like PG-13 or was?
I think it is PG-13, but
Okay.
it earns a 13 to PG-13 rating.
Okay, got you.
Because there are a couple moments I don't want to spoil it, no spoilers. So, but there's a couple of moments where you're like, okay, yeah, my niece is not old enough for that.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say is like don't read too much into it is because like how the magic works. If you start reading too much into
Like,
that,
how the
it
fuck
seems
do you
like
do that?
super easy to do magic. You know, it's super easy to magic if you look at that movie. It's like, oh, anyone could just walk in there and magic. So that's one criticism I would say, and even the sins, the 7 deadly sins, in that are kind of like the adversary in the movie. I don't know. They were pretty grotesque. You know, pretty grotesque, and as well they should. But you don't read too much into them. In the comic books, the sins have like very distinct personalities and stuff like that, and they kind of showed that a little bit in the movie. And so I think they could have done a better job.
Was it nothing dark about the enemy in the movie? Was it nothing really dark about
Yeah,
it?
it didn't really cover them too much. You know, didn't really utilize them too much because you don't want to get into the psyche of gluttony. You know, it's like, especially when you're doing like, hey, I'm a kid in a superhero body. What am I doing?
Man, because like when I first seen Shazam for my first time, man, like my first time actually even knowing who he was, I was like, okay, he's fucking childish. Okay, who the fuck is he? But then it's like, dude is strong. Like when you read up on him, he's damn near on Superman level, if not on his level.
Yeah, he is pretty much Superman, except magic based. And here's the thing: like the Shazam, those acronyms stand for something, and one of the S's, the S is Solomon. He's supposed to have the wisdom of Solomon. Apparently, that didn't work when he became Shazam, when he became Captain Marvel, because he still wandered around like a kid. Hey, I don't know how to use my powers. I'm an idiot. It's like, was Solomon an idiot?
But damn, you gotta call him Hazam. That's like cool. That's like cool honey roasted ham right there. Like Hazam. Like, that's some good ass ham. You can't get that from Wise, huh? But yeah,
Shazam, 10 out of
now
13
that you
stars.
said, God, I did forget that he's magic based, and I also remember that Superman, one of his weaknesses is magic.
Exactly.
So technically, he might get kicked. He probably kick Superman's ass.
They fought before.
I
And-
have
and-
not seen it.
You know
Oh,
what a
who
comic
won?
book is? I could show you a comic book.
I would love to see it, but I just want to know right off bat. Don't tell me the details, but who won? Please tell me Shazam won, because Superman has fought like a bitch every time I watched him. Only time I'm happy to see Superman is in the new movies. 'Cause every time he got punished, he's so strong. It just he has no fight technique. Like he's strong,
Right.
great powers, but when you see him, he's and he's punching like this, and he's getting.
Does he need to? Doesn't Superman live in a cardboard world?
Yeah, he does apparently. He can break up whatever the hell he wants, and I still would have took some Taekwondo lessons or something. Like,
The simple fact that,
you see?
but Superman wouldn't. Clark Kent wouldn't go and take Taekwondo lessons because he could accidentally kill his instructor, his sensei.
He could have went on YouTube and seen how they were moving. Just practice at least, even if you don't got it right, just make yourself feel cool. So when you hit someone, bow, you already storm so they can't block it. Like that,
You can think.
you gotta do.
Imagine like Lois comes to Clark's door, knocks on the door, like Clark, what are you doing? I'm watching Bruce Lee movies.
He'll be the one saying Steven Seagal and shit.
Watching Steven Seagal.
Yeah, you gonna see is this when he comes to the door with it. And look, he's not even gonna have a flat stomach no more. He's gonna have a pot belly, a turkey chest, and going. Yo, do you remember how Steven Seagal used to walk out before he fights? Can you picture Superman fighting Shazam? Like, oh man, no, that's a done deal. I bet you that little kid probably fought better than him, man. I'm sorry. Shazam probably fought better than him. Remember that little kid probably took some jujitsu lessons. Maybe it was a yellow belt or something.
No, he didn't. I don't know who won.
Oh hell,
Yeah.
Judging by that, put it like this: would I be mad at the outcome? I don't like Superman. Remember that. I mean, I like him, but I don't like him.
The one that I remember, it seems like Superman won.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, it's Superman.
Just Shazam is better than Superman. Okay.
You know, Elvis Presley loved Shazam comics. He loved the Captain Marvel comics.
He looks like Shazam.
Yeah, actually, I think people say like, what's his name? The blue suited guy. It was modeled after Elvis because people found out that Elvis liked Shazam, so they modeled one of the Marvel family guys. I forget which one it was.
I'll find out.
Yeah,
but Shazam do look like Elvis.
I can't be running the video. I can't be running the boards and everything and YouTube. Googling shit. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and move on to the next topic.
Cool.
So usually on Mondays, I'll sit down. I'll make all my cigarettes with my machine, and I'll sit there and I'll watch Joe Rogan podcasts on YouTube and play Civilization 3. Love retro gaming. Yeah, there's two excellent Joe Rogan podcasts this week, and one was Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro up on the Joe Rogan Experience, and as you know, I love both Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan, but Ben Shapiro more.
What was they talking about exactly?
Oh, they talked about everything. They talked about like Ben's new book, Right Side of History. If I had any money, I'd buy it. Speaking of which, go to patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio. Thank you. And
How do you say it like that?
so I'm not gonna give him any money. He's too smug, like Ben Shapiro. Yeah, they talked about a bunch of stuff, but there was this one clip I saw that was Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro discuss marijuana use, and Ben Shapiro just like lightly touches on the subject. The way that Ben Shapiro does is like, I'm only gonna mention this real quick. It's like, I'm for the legalization of marijuana. I think that the criminal justice system is bogged down in people getting prosecuted for something that is basically like an analgesic. You know, that's me paraphrasing. You know.
Gosh.
And so, but of course, Joe Rogan's not letting it drop. You know, he wants to talk about it more and more and more.
Yeah.
And Ben's just trying to change the subject, and he starts talking about Judaism a little bit. And Joe Rogan's all, but hey, that's crazy. But look, I'm doing the same body language. That's crazy. Hey, do you know Moses tried DMT? You know, it's because he sat there and he really went through with Ben Shapiro. It's like, yeah, you know, Moses came to the burning bush. It's like people think it might have been the acacia tree, which has a lot of DMT in it, and he could have been like tripping out. And Ben Shapiro is just so great because he's politely, yeah, I get it,
He was
Joe.
probably blown.
Well, I mean, of course he's blown. Ben Shapiro is not though. It's so. Ben Shapiro's just sitting there politely nodding. It's like, yeah, we know you love weed. We know you love DMT. Joe, can I continue what I was talking about? So I just thought that was friggin' hilarious.
Wait a minute. Now that you think about it, wait a minute. Because he did go to a burning bush, and they say God spoke to him. Now, what? I mean, I'm not saying I believe it.
I'm not saying there's not any truth to the matter.
I'm not saying it either. I'm just, what if that was some good ass loud pack? You know, what if? And he just like, and then all of a sudden he just like, he probably came back eyes glassy as shit. All right, I'm done.
I talked to God. That's why my eyes are this red.
I was crying.
I mean, I understand that, like, apparently Joe Rogan had tried DMT at one point and it blew his mind. but damn, shut up about it, bro.
It was stuck on that jump.
Yeah, I mean, and I can understand, loving weed and stuff like that, but Ben Shapiro, he lives in California. He doesn't smoke weed. He doesn't want to talk about weed. And that's the problem with like a lot of potheads. Is like,
Yeah.
you still want to talk about this,
Bro,
you think pot's that's crazy, but what's better than pot is DMT.
I just never
Okay.
really. I never understood what it was to be a pothead because they look at it like it's heaven. But when I was growing up, and my first time trying it, I got scared. I fell asleep in the middle of the crosswalk going on Far Hill Avenue. Before it was the 4 lanes, it was 2 lanes. I literally went across the crosswalk. I looked at my cousin Steve. I said, I'm sleepy. Next thing you know, he told me he looked back and I was laid out in the middle of the street like this, comfy. So he had to pick me up and take me to the basketball court, and I gave everyone a hug, talking about how I loved them and everything. Then my dad pulls up, and I'm like, oh, shit. So I try to sober up real fast, get up to the car, have my head over the junk like this, talking just everything. He said, well, why weren't you looking at him? I said, my eyes burn. I didn't even understand what I said. I didn't understand. But, I've never been that person to like it as much as how people say they like it. It's like, I don't understand why they like it that much. Like, that shit's strong.
Well, I mean, even people who are into like fine wines and fine liquors, they don't talk about fine wines or fine
They
liquors
just drink it. Simple.
as often as potheads talk about weed.
Yeah.
All right. A guy who has like fine wine, he'll come in and is like, "This is from 1857, and it's really delicious. Just have a little sniff. There you go. We're gonna let it breathe for a little bit, and I'm gonna get the glasses here."
Let it breathe.
Then he pours the drinks, and then he sits there. He's like, "So, what do you think about the current political state?" Then they change the subject. It's like, how long you talk about the wine, other than like, that is good wine. It's like, 1857.
Exactly.
You know?
Versus you got someone with weed.
Yeah, and so like, it's like the potheads are in states that don't have it legal. They're sitting there. That's all they're talking about. We totally need to legalize it. They totally need to legalize it. So what do the potheads in California talk about or Colorado talk about? Apparently, they're still talking about weed, Joe Rogan.
That's terrible as fuck, Joe Rogan. Like, this is what I don't get. You have weed dispensaries. When are they gonna come out with a soda machine with all alcohol?
They used to have those.
I hope they bring it back.
Yeah, back in I think the 60s. You remember like the cigarette vending machines?
Yeah.
Where you could put coins in, like get a pack of cigarettes.
That's crucial.
Yeah, back before I was 18, you could just wander into a bar.
You know what? Then
Just
again,
need a pack of squares. That's all.
You don't really hear about people breaking into vending machines for.
Yeah,
weed.
but those things got.
Yeah, they got broken into.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not going to make a vending machine for weed because that'll get broken into.
They better give it some fiberglass to hell.
I don't know.
I mean,
Anyway.
if that's the case, you know what I'm saying? The clerks behind the damn desk in D.C., I'm pretty sure they can use the same glass as that and they'd be good, right?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm sick of Joe Rogan and people talking about weed. So there was another one where Kevin Hart was on the Joe Rogan Experience. And, yeah, I don't know if you saw any of his new special on Netflix.
He's a washed up.
I don't know. I think he's in a slump. I like to think of entertainers as like baseball players. It's like sometimes you get in a slump. And we were talking before the show. Is like I think this Oscar thing kind of scared him. This thing with the Oscars is like they're going to bring up some old shit, and I'm not going to be able to succeed as far. And so I think he's kind of scared.
He should have just kept it original.
Yeah, he kept doing what he was doing because it was brilliant, and I loved it. But I think now after that Oscar thing, I think he's scared. But I will tell you one thing. There was a conversation they had about Patrice O'Neal. Him and Joe Rogan about Patrice O'Neal, and I'm just like, rest in peace, Patrice. I mean, I thought that guy was friggin' hilarious. And so, but they were telling this story about Kevin Hart when he was a young comedian. He was up on stage telling this joke, and of course Patrice had heard it a bunch of times. Didn't think it was any good, right? And then he ends up like throwing a phone book on the stage at Kevin Hart, and he's like, and just he hears his voice in the back because of all the lights and stuff like that. Just here's Patrice's voice in the back saying, "Read it. The material in there is better than what you're pulling." It's just like,
I'd be pissed.
but you can't help but not love a cat like that? Because like you and me with our trading barbs, kind of repartee. This I roast you, you roast me. It's like this is how steel gets sharpened.
Yeah,
You know,
that's for damn sure.
and so that's why like I think a lot of Kevin Hart's success is because of hanging out with Patrice O'Neal and vice versa. It's like they played off each other and they refine their jokes.
Well,
Steel sharpens steel, bro.
I mean, just Kevin Hart now. Like, don't be wrong. Like right now, he's starting to get washed up. I shouldn't have said he is washed up. He's starting to.
He
can always come
He
back.
can come back, but
He
he's
can always come back. But it's like the way he reacts. Like I said, the way he reacts to certain situations, how he tells his own stories, is funny. But as far as just like speaking, like just freestyle, like okay, bam, 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 he's awesome. But I notice he runs out of material.
He kind of went into that in the podcast. He was talking about how he writes, which I found
Yeah.
extremely interesting as a writer. Buy my books on Amazon.com.
Yeah,
Search for Scott L. Robbins with 2 T's and 2 B's. I got the 3 Exit 13 books. I got the Ravings of a Madman, and I got the Bunny Years, a memoir story about a superhero.
I only have one book.
Yeah,
I only have one book. It has one page,
yeah.
and it says I'm trifling. Buy it. It's 23 cents. No, it's not. I'm playing.
Anyway, what was I saying? Patrice O'Neal,
God.
Kevin Hart.
God.
He was talking about how he was writing, and how he'll write his jokes. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll get a couple ideas, and I'll go and I'll play small rooms. I'll play small rooms, and I'll perfect it to a point where I feel like I could reach the maximum capacity of laughs in this set. Then I'll take it to a bigger room, and if I get a similar effect, in a bigger room, then I was like, oh, okay, it's like this is working, and then I'll have enough for a special. Or a lot of times it's like I'll come in and I'll write, something kills in a club, and then I go to a big auditorium, and the auditorium it doesn't kill as good as the auditorium. Then I'll go back to the clubs and rework the bits, try to get bigger laughs. And I think that that's a very disciplined way to write and improve your material. I mean, it is one thing to be funny in an hour Netflix special, because that is a material that you've been using for like a year or 18 months, and unfortunately, everyone that's seen you in any of those clubs and stuff like that is like, oh, I've heard all this shit before.
Yeah.
And so, but that's the point of doing it for Netflix, is you want to bring your best stuff to Netflix. And it's one thing to do like a podcast. Is like, oh, I'm not laughing as much as I am in an hour of Kevin Hart comedy. But that hour of Kevin Hart comedy you're watching on Netflix, that took a year to 18 months to develop. We are this funny naturally in our own lives.
Right on the spot. Right on the spot. Freestyling. Yeah, we ain't gotta write the shit you got.
Yeah, Hill Hippie's the prima donna.
Write.
Anyway, we're almost about halfway through, so I just want to talk. You ever hear about this NPC movement or whatever it is? I don't know. NPC memes.
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, NPC means is an acronym for non-player character or non-playable character, and people are like saying it's like don't be an NPC, and the idea is that we live in a world now where if something happens, if there's an argument, people arguing in the streets, or if there's a fight that breaks out, or a horrific accident, or a crime going on, people will sit there and they just pull out their phones, start filming.
Hell yeah.
That makes you a non-playable character. You're just an observer. You observe and report. You're all Seth Rogen in this shit. All right. And I think I like this movement or this meme is because people have become this sort of passive observer to life, and you need to take control. Carpe diem. It's like because I think this comes to mind because Kevin Hart was talking about, it's like I meet fans now and they're all just, they want to get video of me or they want to get a selfie with me. It's like they don't want to talk to me, they don't want to interact with me. And I think that is true. It's like people, especially if you're famous, people just, they want to preserve the moment. They I got Kevin Hart a video.
Want to make it known that I seen him. I'm
up
beside him.
my views and shit like that.
Yeah, that type of shit. Yeah,
and so that's kind of also the thing. Is like if you see some accident or some fight breaks out, it's like intervene. Become a active player in our society. Why? Because our society needs to continue.
Yeah, for daggone right. But like That's a good ass point. I mean, if you're an NPC, yeah, you're recording that. You can't do shit besides record. I just think you can't do shit. Like,
Well, that's what I mean. Is your first impulse
yeah,
if a fight breaks out, if your first impulse is to pull
pull
out
out
your
your
phone
phone.
and record it,
You're automatically out the jump.
screaming "World Star," yeah. I mean, jump in there,
You know,
prevent violence. I mean, participate in our society. It's like we want peace. Everyone wants peace, especially if there's an accident. If there's an accident and people are hurt or something like that, and you pull out your fucking phone, you are like that dude in Nightcrawler. You seen that movie? That fucked up movie, Nightcrawler?
bruh, stop it.
Have you seen it?
Stop it. Stop it. It's
You
just
aren't-
when you said it, I just wait. Okay, let me ask you a question.
You
Look,
catching up?
I am. I'm just like,
Okay.
I just thought about it when you said it. I'm like, okay, if you want to stop, what if you're not physically talented? Like, what if you try to stop the fight and you get your ass beat on accident?
Show me that bicep.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good with mine. Yeah, I'm good.
Yours
with
are bigger
mine.
than mine, bro.
But I'm just saying, like, not as far as me, but let's say your average Joe Blow. You know what I'm saying? Like, he eats his cheese sandwich and shit at
I
work,
would-
and he gets off, and he just goes home to his family, scrawny guy, just with a suit, and he sees two big UFC character looking motherfuckers fighting. Are you gonna expect him to be like, no, stop and do this? Because I think he's gonna get punched in his chest and his ass is gonna fall out. That's how I'm gonna see it.
Well, I guess I read too many comic books growing up. I always believe in fighting the good fight,
Oh hell no.
no matter the odds.
Well, Alfred's about to get his ass whooped because I don't know what the fuck to say.
I don't know. If I get like stabbed in a mugging, I just hope I'm wearing this shirt.
What?
Yeah, so like
FXBG. He's
For
throwing
ex-
up the studio signs.
I just hope that if I get stabbed, it's like flip me over, get a picture. The shock monkeys on the back.
Like FXBG. I can't even do it. I tried it.
But I just hope I'm wearing this shirt because people will say a local podcaster stabbed trying to intervene, and then boom, all of our listeners go up.
Beautiful.
This is like it'd be worth it.
As long as you live, it's cool. you don't do that shit. Yeah.
Then we'll put the blood-stained FXBG Public Radio shirt on eBay. We're gonna donate it.
We
to
don't want him to
something.
die though, because then he's gonna
I'll
be
get
like,
stabbed.
in memory of him. In memory of.
No,
the
don't do
man.
it. Yeah, don't do it in memoriam. I can't imagine. Like people start like pouring through my old audio. The poor bastard that has to do that. Wow.
That's a lot of audio.
Yeah, that's a lot of audio.
That's a lot of
poured
audio.
through.
They gonna be like, damn it, can he? You can't try that little shocky thing in his chest one more time. Like, you can't just,
Well, you'll be like, well, let's just do something out of the last couple of years. How about that?
bro. Let's do it. They can be like, let's do a seance. Let me stop.
No,
They
don't
gonna
do
try
that.
and bring your ass back to life and shit.
Don't waste your time. I'll be long gone from here.
Come back like Spawn.
Okay, so let's pay the bills real quick, if you don't mind. Shock Monkey Radio and FXBG Public Radio is sponsored by Danny's Pizza and Subs. Check them out at Danny'sPizzaAndSubs.com. They are located at 10657 Spotsylvania Avenue, and they have a delivery area radius of about 5 miles, so apologies to our listeners in Perth. You can reach them at 540-898-5008. They are open Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Fridays and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And Sundays are open from noon to 8. It's always buy one, get one free pizzas at Danny'sPizzaAndSubs.com.
Damn, we should have went there.
I'm getting really good at reading that.
Yes, you are.
What, you didn't go to Danny's for lunch?
Can we should have went there this earlier versus where the fuck we went. I went to pie ass cookout. It's okay.
Go get it like buffalo chicken pizza, man.
We might
What's
get
that?
a discount.
What's that?
She said
What was that in the background?
I'm just saying we heard a cricket say, we heard
What
MC Cricket and basically what was going on is MC Cricket wants to know she can get a discount. You know what I'm saying? Because she got a family to feed and everything, that type of shit. And one slice would feed her and her family. You know what I'm saying? It's just one slice. She's teeny.
I guess that's very frugal of you and your family.
I ain't no damn cricket. This ain't no bestiality over here.
So yeah, I mentioned this earlier, but we have Patreon. Go to patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio. Just a couple bucks a month, whatever you can give, we'd appreciate it. You'll get a lot more behind the paywall content, including full videos and so forth. Maybe a couple drunken rants. I haven't checked it lately. because I'll sometimes do that. I'll like do a drunken rant or something and put it over
Damn.
behind the paywall.
Well, can I be in on that too? Can I be in on the drunken rant? I would love to.
Yeah, check out the Barry Sanchez show here sometimes. It's on Mixler. You can find the mix on Mixler / FXBG Public Radio. There's the Barry Sanchez show.
Okay.
If you got a high tolerance for this kind of bullshit, yeah, go check that out.
You'll love it.
We also have our Teespring store up. Go to teespring.com/shockmonkey. Teespring.com/stores/madman lowercase, and there you can find T-shirts like this. We got a whole bunch of different types of T-shirts and sweatshirts, and we got things that say just FXBG Public Radio, and we got things that say Shock Monkey Radio, particularly on the back of T-shirts and sweats and stuff like that. I've made a new logo. I'm debating how good it is. Maybe I'll make a new one. I don't know. But that's what's cool about this is like I can keep adding items. We got cell phones that have like FXBG Public Radio on it, little covers, for your cell phone. Lots of cool stuff. So go over to teespring.com/stores/madman lowercase. All right.
I'm hopping on that.
Absolutely. So we want to get into the news worth knowing? This is the second half of the show that
Let's
I do.
do it.
All right. So I want to talk about the Secret Service and how they suck at their job.
Oh, shit.
All right, volume all the way down. Okay. Secret Service under fire after agent testifies the agency inserted malicious thumb drive into a computer. Okay, so they had this malicious thumb drive. They found it in possession of a Chinese woman who was arrested at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago club last month. And they plugged it into an agency computer, and then it began installing unwanted files.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Monday's revelation about Embattled Protection Unit came the same day as its director, Randolph Alays, was reported to have been ousted as part of a larger shakeup of the Department of Homeland Security, the government arm of the Secret Service reports. I'm going to skip to this. Anyway, the woman who was arrested at the Mar-a-Lago had $8,000 in U.S. and Chinese currency in her hotel room. She also had a signal detector meant to spot hidden cameras. A federal prosecutor in Florida said on Monday. She also had in possession 4 cell phones, an external hard drive, and a thumb drive with computer malware loaded into it. The malicious thumb drive this is a one sentence. The malicious thumb drive proved to be a particularly troubling piece of evidence. Secret Service agent Samuel Ivanovich testified in court that another agent inserted a thumb drive into his computer in an effort to analyze it, prompting the drive to install files without the agent's consent and corrupt other files on the computer. That was something that's never happened before, Ivanovich told the judge, adding the agent, who was not identified, save face, then shut down the computer to avoid further damage. Security experts scolded the Secret Service for failing to follow one of the very first rules of cybersecurity. Sounds like an agent was trying to crack the case before the cyber team got there. Eric O'Neill, former FBI surveillance expert, tweeted. Here is a quote from Chris Wissopow, Chief Technology Officer at Veracode, who said, quote, "You don't put an unknown USB into your computer. That's
common sense.
That's in all the training everyone gets, even in your dumb corporate training. You even tell your mom that."
That's common sense.
I love that quote. What's up, Hill Hippie?
What's up?
We got this under control. That means we don't really need you, you prima donna ass.
Oh, damn.
Have you been listening to the show?
No.
Okay, well, you'll be mad at me in like the first 5 minutes.
There goes all the publicity I've been doing for you. Fuck it now.
Fucking.
You got 2 plugs in the last show alone. You treat me like that? Get me wrong.
I'm just playing. We just playing.
We just playing.
Just playing. Well, he seriously. He texted me right after you texted me and said you're not going to be able to make it. So I was like, awesome.
Right on.
Now I don't have to make more notes.
Oh shit! Yeah, I was ready.
So why don't you relax and you want to get on the show? You have something pressing for Hill Hippie's Garden?
Nothing pressing for the garden.
Okay.
If you don't want me, I won't sit down. But if you want me, I will.
I don't want to move any cameras around.
Who says I have to be on camera? I have off work. I don't need my face.
Well, you want to sit down? Sit in
Well, you
between.
know what? Hey, Let's do this.
Hey, Dapper Dan.
Let's do this.
Yeah, we only got a few more stories, about 20 minutes more to go.
I don't buy this word.
I think MC Cricket wants to say hi.
She want to get on the mic?
I think no. I think she wants to say hi though. You gotta say hi to MC Cricket. She feels threatened when you don't say hi.
Oh, is that MC Cricket here?
Yeah.
I'm not hearing nothing. Hello?
that was MC Cricket that was just talking to you.
I didn't say hi, but I did say I don't bite. So that's
You didn't upset her now. She said, "God damn it!" Like you got her standing there like a little side bitch now. Like, now she's upset.
Do you want me to bite? Is that the problem?
You know, she's like,
I mean, I'm accommodating. You just gotta let me know. We got safe words we can put in place. You know?
All right, so, yeah, the Secret Service are idiots for this one.
that was just common sense, bro.
Absolutely.
Don't put things where they don't belong.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to read the headline, and then I'm going to read my reaction to the headline when I first read it.
Gotcha.
Monty Python comedian Eric Idle's home evacuated after white powder was found in suspicious letter. My reaction was, holy shit, Eric Idle's alive?
Go ahead. Get out.
All right.
I'm kidding. That guy's a musical genius. Yeah, famed comedic actor Eric Idle and his family are reportedly safe after opening a suspicious package at their Los Angeles home, which contained a white powdery substance. Police and firefighters were called to the 76-year-old Monty Python star's home on the... This is what's crazy. They give where you can find him. The 3100 block of Floyd Drive, Monday evening.
Oh, wow. That's not that smart.
Someone in the residence reportedly opened a piece of mail and noticed a white substance spill out of its envelope. He or she called the authorities, who quickly evacuated the home and checked the scene for hazardous materials. Fortunately, LA Fire Department told Fox News the substance was tested and found not to be hazardous. It's unclear at this time what the substance actually was. LAFD said the two females were taken to the hospital just as a precaution, but there were no injuries. Yeah.
Well, if they were going after the anthrax concept, then there would be no immediate response. They wouldn't show
I am so sorry.
It's better.
I am so sorry.
Now I can turn my headphones back down. I wasn't even sure if I was showing up or not. Nobody loves me.
I am so sorry, bro.
Yeah, it's all good. But again, if it was anthrax, going back to the anthrax scares of the early aughts,
Yeah.
there would be no immediate signs. What's the better take from this is that these females didn't see this white powder pour out of it and go, oh shit, and start making rails.
I'd probably, I think how I got in that envelope, I feel like DMX sent it. I feel like it was DMX. I guess just the way his voice goes is like, I wouldn't doubt if he just like put that shit in a water bottle, shook it up, and drank it before every music video. You know what I mean?
Well, anthrax or
Oh yeah.
okay,
Have you heard DMX's voice?
no.
Oh my god, you need to,
Why?
because it's trifling as hell. Like literally this.
If it's trifling, what the fuck do I need to hear?
Because it's fun. It's just fun to hear trifling shit.
Okay. And when I hear it, if I don't like it, I'm going to blame you for wasting however many seconds of my life.
I will give you $5 if you hate it. I'll give you
I
$5.
already hate it.
Oh hell no! No.
Alrighty, let's move on to the next story. A 3-year-old, this is probably the funniest thing I've read in about the last 2 years. A 3-year-old disables their dad's iPad for 25 million minutes, or nearly half a century. DC-based journalist has apparently been locked out of his iPad for more than 25 million minutes after his 3-year-old son tried to use it without the correct password, according to a screen grab shared on his Twitter page. Quote, it looks fake, but alas, it's our iPad today after a 3-year-old tried repeatedly to unlock. Ideas? Question mark? I read the tweet from New Yorker writer Evan Osnos on Saturday. The tweet included a screen grab of his disabled iPad, which recommended he try accessing again in 25,536,442 minutes, which is 48 and a half years. One Twitter user joked that he ought to reboot his 3-year-old son or time travel. Others offered helpful resources as tips to solve the problem. Per Apple's guidelines, users experiencing the problem are advised to restore and update their settings through iTunes. Any data that's not backed up, however, will be irretrievably lost.
Mm-hmm.
On Monday, Ostanos told the New York Daily News he was still locked out, although the time had gone down a few hundred minutes. Looks like we've got 25 more million minutes to go.
That'll piss me off.
Right. How tenacious is this 3-year-old, though?
He wanted to play that game. Man.
Yeah.
Wanted in, didn't he?
It was
That's
determined.
a
That's
tenacious
determination.
3-year-old.
That's determination right there,
Dude,
man.
And dude, man, that thing's gonna be way obsolete by the time you get it back. You might as well just give up.
Right? Right?
You sell it to that damn machine up in Walmart or something, man. That's all. That's all you can do. No one's gonna want that shit.
No.
By the time that unlocks, you can send it back to yourself in time.
Now, here's what the real problem is. I'm not going to blame the 3-year-old. I'm not going to blame the parent for not watching their 3-year-old as he locked him out of this computer. I'm going to blame the programmers at Apple for making a lockout that just continually added
Adds
time.
time.
When there should have been like a max time of like an hour lockout, and then you could try again. But to go up for 48
I would
motherfucking
say
years,
that an hour's a little
Yeah,
too,
that's fucked up.
An hour's a little too short, but I mean, like if it had, like a maximum time of like a week, a week.
I mean, for real,
But
If-
but 50 years.
yeah.
you should be able to call the programmers, everything else. You should be able to call them so they can unlock it from where they're at themselves. They should be able to do that. If it's that technological,
There's a back door.
Yeah.
it should be.
They just don't like to give that information out.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's what Apple's doing right now, though.
Yeah.
With them. All right. So next story: Condom brand releases consent packs that require 4 hands to open. This is a condom brand from Argentina, and it's highlighting the issue of sexual consent with a packaging that requires 4 hands to open. Tulipan, Argentina, recently debuted the consent packs, featuring a series of circles spread out along its four outer edges, which all need to be depressed at the same time in order to open the box. The packages are also printed with a message that could be read as consented pleasure or pleasure with sense. I can't speak Portuguese. That's nonsense. Or is that? No, that's Spanish, right?
Portuguese is a different language.
Yeah.
Well, I suck at Spanish. Placer it doesn't matter. Consented pleasure or pleasure with sense. Tulipan has always spoken of safe pleasure, but for this campaign, we understood that we had to talk about the most important thing in every sexual relationship. Pleasure is possible only if you give your consent first, said the spokesman for BBDO Argentina, the ad agency that created the design. The brand has also been spreading the word about its consent packs on social media, sharing photos and videos of the design, along with captions reading, "Only if there's consent, there is pleasure. If it is a yes, it's a no."
Okay, here's my first question. How big is the stupid box on this thing to where 4 hands are required? I mean, take a look here.
I bet
There's
you,
2 hands. Now put up 2 more hands here. That's a lot of the space that's going to be required because
This
there's
is
some
what
pretty
I-
good grip here.
this is what I'm
It's got to be
seeing.
wider than your head.
this is what
Yeah.
I'm seeing. It's like here. It's about that big, square. So I think it is possible if you use a wall or anything.
Just 2 hands, you should be
Yeah,
able to
just-
do this.
Well, here's the point. Do rapists use condoms?
No. Here's the other point.
Wait, what?
Consent can be changed after the condom has been opened. All of a sudden, oh, shit just got real. No, I'm out. Just
Wait.
because the box has been opened doesn't mean consent lasts.
I hope rapists use condoms.
Yeah, I've pissed off a girl and said, get out of me, out of my house."
Yeah,
That was a direct quote, by the way.
I
Well.
don't doubt that.
I mean, I've had occasions like that when I didn't want to touch it when she pulled her pants down. You know?
Yeah,
If it looks like wool or if it smells like
it feels like
What?
it fails the dip test.
yeah, like if it smells like
Sorry,
Rico.
sorry, MC Cricket. I forgot she's back here. I feel bad.
Oh, she cussed you out, man.
Ah,
She cussed you out bad.
That was
She-
bad. And
That was fucking bad. Yeah. Wait,
I said I'm sorry. Get over it.
this motherfucker said, he said cricket knees. Get out my face.
So,
Oh man.
so can dogs be Nazis?
Yeah.
Really?
You ever say "give me paw"?
No.
Tell dog give you paw. He'd be just like this. You know what I'm saying? Just.
That seems more Stalinist.
I'm just saying. I like Nazis.
What?
I'm playing. but still, no.
I was just wondering if you knew what you said.
Oh no. My cousin told me just because I found out that I have German in me, ever since it was from 8th grade to 11th grade. If I got extra mad at something, he called me a Nazi. It used to piss me off.
Yeah,
But-
imagine.
Yeah, it pissed me off real bad. But he would say it in front of like big groups of people, so I was a little embarrassed too. So I didn't know what the hell to say. I just, I could joke all day, but once he said that, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Let me walk
Well, I
the fuck
mean-
back into school. You know what I'm saying?
I got German in me too, but I mean, I'm that average white guy mud. You know, I got a little German, a little French, a little English. I got
As far-
Italian.
As far as dogs go, Chihuahuas are all Nazis.
You
Those
think so?
those little motherfuckers are trying to take over everything. They'll attack anything. Doesn't matter how big. They don't care.
That's true,
I don't know. I think that.
but I don't think that necessarily makes you a fascist or even a national socialist.
Yeah.
They're trying to take everything else out that's not them. I've seen Chihuahuas that lived in different houses attack other dogs in tandem, and they would get along.
But so if dogs were Nazis, so that like Chihuahuas would be like the SS,
Yeah, they would consider themselves to be the quote unquote master race, and they're trying to take
the
out
true Aryans.
Right, they're trying to take out the humans. They're trying to take out the German shepherds. They're trying to take out the cocker spaniel girls.
Oh, don't forget the
That would
pugs.
be
And
the
no
other
one likes
competing
them.
group. That's the German Shepherds.
Don't
We
forget
are
the
clearly
pugs.
the true Aryans.
Right.
They'll probably keep the pit bulls for bodyguards. I feel.
I think the British bulldogs.
Oh, fuck them. Nah, I love them. I love them, but they have to get rid of the pugs. They're like bitch-made bulldogs. Like I can't do them.
They're like the teacup
Yeah.
pig of the dog world.
Yeah, the Axis. The Axis were they were against China. So yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, you know what I'm saying? But I would probably think they're more of the cartel, more of the. I've met a Chihuahua that reminds me of Pablo Escobar, so
Why was he smoking a cigar?
Yes, he was.
And wearing
Nice.
sunglasses.
He was.
Wearing sunglasses. The only reason I bring up this subject is because I'm kind of interested because I'm of the opinion that dogs can't be Nazis.
What?
It's a very complex political ideation that dogs can't process.
But they may not understand the socio-economical concept of the side of the Nazi party.
But you could train a dog to behave like a Nazi.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Fucking, you can train a dog to do anything you want.
Yeah.
Cats are just Nazis altogether. Anyways,
Nah,
they.
they're
Bruh.
like ninjas.
That's actually a little better. You
like
never hear
ninjas.
them little bastards coming.
They're like they like holding up in the valley. Keeping everybody out, murdering them, and then
They're
in the
the
night.
Japanese kamikaze
Oh my
pilots. Because you don't see them coming all of a sudden, whap, attack, full in force. They don't give a shit. They're just flying at you.
That shit pisses me off. Like when you pass, like I go to my aunt's house, and like the cat's under the sofa, and the minute you pass, it's fucking up your feet. Like just trying to. I'm like, get the fuck off me. Like I literally jump sometimes. Man, look, that
Cats
shit's-
are always at fucks equals 0. Always, always.
I
Fucks
think
equal -3.
They have no feelings. They have no feelings. It's like every cat. I feel like every cat has the mindset of a pit bull.
They have feelings.
They have-
They have no empathy.
But yeah,
Dogs have empathy.
yeah.
All right. The only reason I'm bringing this up, and now I'm curious because I want to read this article to you, because a Florida sheriff, his office bloodhound, was renamed from Rommel to Scout after complaints about Nazi connotations. Yeah, he was renamed after the office got complaints about the dog, and who shared a name with the general who served under Adolf Hitler. Announcing the news in its newest pal on Friday, Lake County Sheriff's Office welcomed young Rommel on Twitter. He is a 10-week-old liver-colored bloodhound now assigned to the master deputy. Here it is, Minchel.
There's the issue.
There's the issue.
There's the issue.
This is my German dog, Rommel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bloodhound, man. It's English, if anything. The department wrote, Rommel will soon begin his rigorous training and support the community by killing the Jews. We're going to train him to hunt the Jews. I'm kidding, no.
And it'll sit in the car with Eva.
It's a very,
Oh, no.
it's a very benign. Say the dog's name is Rommel, and the guy who's training him is
It's coincidence.
is a German name. However, some of the followers of the sheriff's office, who follows the sheriff's office on Twitter?
Wait, they
Sorry
have a
about that.
Twitter?
Smart criminals.
Wait,
I
they
would
have a
imagine.
Twitter?
Yeah, most law enforcement agencies have like social media now.
I'm glad.
Yeah, and they're trolling people on there.
Yeah,
Go
I
back to
do-
some of
yeah,
our previous
some of our
episodes.
old
We talk
episodes,
about
yeah.
that quite a bit.
Oh hell, I don't have I have a Twitter, but I haven't used it in maybe
Right.
like years. Like I don't.
F Twitter. However, some followers of the sheriff's office soon connected the dog's name to Erwin Rommel, smart cookies, senior officer in the German army who made history. I mean, let's be honest, he was a legend. As evil as that regime is like you need to know. That's why I'm not into tearing down statues of racist rednecks. I'm not into that because we need to know. It's like
To forget your past is you're doomed
Yeah.
to repeat it.
doomed to repeat it. Exactly. And so you get a bunch of these Twitter things. Really? That poor pup, one Twitter user wrote. Congratulations, you Nazified that poor dog.
And what's his name again?
Rommel. They changed it to Scout.
Why couldn't they name him Snuggles or something?
I don't know.
Because a police dog named Snuggles does not instill fear in the hearts of the criminals.
yeah.
It'll instill it.
Snuggles, sick 'em.
Think about it, but like that's the ironic part. Like, bro, like if you say, "Oh yeah, I'm about to send Snuggles on you," they gonna be like, "Who? That's a bitch made dog." But then you gotta think about it, like, if he's gonna sick this bitch made dog, and maybe he's not bitch made at all. Maybe he just got a soft ass name. This nigga's probably big as shit.
Yeah, but I'm going to stick Rommel on you.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
You ain't going to sit
That's
there
an
and think.
intimidating name.
You ain't going to sit there and think for a half a second. You're going to take off. Now, fuck this, I'm out.
Well,
Scout.
I mean,
just
Rommel is a scary ass name. He sounds ugly though.
There's a bloodhound.
He's fucking ugly then.
Yeah.
Bloodhound. Yeah. Of course. Stop it. You're gonna make me cry. Of course, there are other users who said it's absurd that the department felt the need to change the name of a dog. Because
I agree.
yeah, I agree. Just because a couple people complain.
So what should we do? Forget the entire German people, forget the entire German language, scrap all German names because of one mistake the country made following this one
Well, that's-
stupid idiot.
that's what I mean.
No.
It's-
Remember the past and just move forward.
That's what I mean. It's like, what does Germany do?
Well, pretty sure they don't use our names.
Well, when they do,
We're taking up the English language, we're scrapping the German language, and now we are now known as the nation of I'm sorry, Stan.
I'm sorry, Stan. We fucked up. But I mean, that's the whole point: is that you are not the generation that fucked up.
Right.
And we need to look at it that way. You know, it's like fight real Nazis. So there's this bit that Gavin McInnes. I'm going to skip this Superbook story because I want to talk about this bit that Gavin McInnes did, where it's like all these protesters are coming up saying, you know, it's like, oh, you know, he's Republican, he's racist, he's a KKK, you know, he's sexist and so forth. And he comes out there on stage and he comes out and all these protesters are there, they're protesting, and he gets the mic and he comes up and he's like, there's 3 problems in our country today. And that is the Muslim, the Negro, and the Jew. And everyone's just jaws dropped and it's like, oh my God, he really said it. And and then he explained, I'm joking. The point is that you're all calling me these things like, you know, racist, Nazi, and stuff like that. Then if the KKK actually rode down the street on their horses in robes, you people would shit yourselves. You know, you're looking at people who are normal, everyday people who are not out there wearing robes and riding horses and holding signs that say
Burning
these
crosses.
that say these horrible, horrible things from a bygone era. Those people don't exist anymore, really. But if they really rolled down the street in their full regalia, you would shit yourselves.
Well, they
But
kind of
they're not really doing that much anymore.
not like that, but
Like the
what-
last incident with Charlottesville.
Right, I was going to say those
UVA.
assholes are still out there.
Yeah.
Don't beat
shit.
around the bush about it. Those motherfuckers are still out there. They're
They're not wearing the
they're
uniforms.
fucking pansies. They're
think-
not showing their faces that much unless they've got, you know, the whole concept of pussies travels in packs.
I think
Unless
it's
they've got a big enough pack, they're not going to show themselves and let them know other people know. Yeah, this is how I really think. This is how I really feel. Otherwise, they're going to get the holy living shit kicked out of
Yeah,
them.
they're like Antifa.
I think it probably like
I bet they love that one.
right.
it'll probably depend on the neighborhood they ride in. I think it would depend on different places you ride.
Well, I'll tell you where racists don't hang out. Downtown Chicago in the middle of winter.
Nope.
Jussie Smollett. Anyway, we're
what
about,
the?
that's a whole different argument. We can argue off
Get
the
out.
air. We're at the 1 hour mark here on Shock Monkey Radio. Like I said, check us out over on Patreon/Shock Monkey Radio. Please help us out. Also, check me out on YouTube. I'm on the Madman Lowercase. Ace Bully is
Ace Bully.
Ace Bully on YouTube, and Hill Hippie is Hill Hippie.
Yes.
I omitted the.
There you go.
So I'm the Madman, and I'm clearly on top of it, and I love you. Who are you guys?
I'm Tizzy with Tizzy Thoughts.
And I'm the Hill Hippie wishing you all peace and love.
And who's that? Is that?
MC Cricket.
Cricket.
No. Is that it? Yeah, good night. MC Cricket.
Watch your mouth, Cricket.